Well, today in Canberra is the Landcare Youth Summit, engaging with young people to encourage practical change for the environment. And hosting these panel sessions and workshops is Sophie Taylor-Price. She's continuing the legacy of her late grandfather and former Australian Prime Minister Bob Hawke. Sophie, you are in a car driving in between Parliament House and somewhere else. First of all, welcome to the Ben Rob and Robbo Show.
Thanks, and thanks for having me. And I'm sorry for being the most annoying guest ever. And
I love a bit of action cam, so this is actually right up my alley. So, you are in a car, you're not driving because you're moving from Parliament House to another building, right?
Correct. So we've just spent the last 2 hours in the theatre of Parliament House and been hosting a virtual summit with 40 young people and students from across Australia. And because of COVID, we can only be in the room for 2 hours. So we're now on our way to the John Gorton building to finish up the rest of the session.
Okay, so what exactly does Landcare Australia do?
I mean, Landcare Australia, they bring people together from across Australia, across different geographies and social groups. And the main objective is to bring them together to help care for land and care for country.
Sophie, for those people who can't view or attend the virtual summit, what are some practical ways that they can do to help the environment?
It's just about, getting it done and connecting with local community to find local projects where you can get your hands dirty and make a difference. And there's an amazing impact that can be made when you share stories and you lead by example.
Look, your grandfather, Bob Hawke, he was a huge environmental pioneer during his time in Parliament. How much of an inspiration was he in the work you're doing now?
Oh, look, I spoke about that today. I was 4 years old when he sat me on his knee and launched the first State of the Environment report in 1989, and that's giving away my age. And he spoke... He spoke very passionately about the motivations for him was about caring for country like you care about our children, because it's our children's future. And I was 4 years old at the time, but somehow that obviously rubbed off on me, and it's shaped my career, it's shaped my values and the choices that I make in lifestyle and what I continue to do on a day-to-day basis.
So, Sophie, you mentioned at his memorial service that he really had a profound regret of how Australia has approached climate change. Do you think we're heading in the right direction now?
So, yes, it was something that was a source of grief for him. He was an idealist in so many ways, and he just wanted to get it done. And it made him really sad that we weren't progressing as fast as he wanted us to progress. And I don't think it's just Australia; it's globally as well. And yes, there is some sense that we could be doing so much more, and there is an urgency. There is a real urgency about taking action. But one of the things that I have internalized over the last 12 months in particular, 12 to 14 months, is that if we're not optimistic, if we're not hopeful, if we're not, doggedly focused on it being possible, then it's not going to be possible. So are we doing enough? No. We can obviously do more, but that should not discourage us from being optimistic about our ability to actually make the difference that we need to make.
I just can imagine that Bob Hawke would be the rest of your family as well, would be so proud of you being a facilitator of change. Do you ever feel pressure, though?
No one could fill his footsteps. I wouldn't try to be like him or to achieve what he's achieved. He was a phenomenal individual, but that doesn't mean that I can't find my voice and do what I can to make a difference and to make change. I'm not going to be the next Prime Minister of Australia. That's not my lot in life, but I'm working hard at doing what I can, and what I care about is is working with young people and amplifying their voices and giving them the platform to create the change that they want to see.
You know, we talk about your grandfather. There's two quick questions for you.
Yeah.
Do you have the family trait of being able to down a schooner in one go?
You know, surprisingly, you're not the first person to ask me that one.
on you,
and no, I
Rob.
can't.
Right, okay. No, I was waiting for the answer. You seemed hesitant. But look,
No, that's not my style. Give me a
Dad's
South Australian
actually been
Shiraz.
Your dad's
Oh.
actually been making news this week because he's been portrayed in The Crown, and Four Corners have come out having a go at the producers of The Crown about the way he was depicted, because they had him saying that the Queen was a pig on national television. The ABC actually released the original interview showing that the interview in fact went quite differently. What do you think about this? What do you think about the way he is portrayed and the misinformation around that?
I did watch The Crown, and I did watch that episode completely blindsided. I had no idea what was coming. I'm like, oh, that's my pup. And look, one of the most important things that I've learned growing up in the halo of a media spotlight is that I can't judge my family and I can't judge myself on how we're portrayed in media. That isn't healthy. And I take it with a grain of salt. To me, it's one of my favourite Netflix shows, but I'm not going to get caught up in whether it was accurate or not, because I'm sure it wasn't.
Sophie, you are an inspiration. Your grandfather would be very proud. Thank you for joining us on the Ben, Rob and Robbo show today.
Thank you, and thank you for tolerating my awful setup.
You were great.
I hope you understand, and I have to go finish off looking after the youth summit and making sure that these kids walk away from today feeling super inspired and with tools and resources to start their own projects. Landcare's done an amazing job. All the schools who are participating today, they get a $1,000 grant to give to the students to start their own project. We're really empowering these kids to like shoot them out into the world to make their own little bit of difference in their backyard.
Good message to end
Amazing.
on, Sophie. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
It's the Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo Show.